Shantae series of games have always been just outside the realm of the typical games I play, but I knew they existed. The art style has always attracted me. I love a graphic design look for 2D art. Bold, flat colors, hard edges between shadows, and thick outlines. Risky's Revenge is the second game in the series, but the earliest on Steam. The original Shantae was a Game Boy Color game that hasn't made its way to PC yet, so this was my jumping in point. What I found was a platforming game that felt very much like the original Castlevania, except with Shantae you have more mid-air jump control. All around the controls are tight and responsive, levels are colourful, varied, and try to make use of your 3 transformation abilities. By holding the dance button, the rest of the scene freezes while Shantae can transform into a small monkey which can climb walls and enter tight spaces, an elephant who can charge to break boulders, or a mermaid who can swim freely in deep water. You'll explore deserts, caves, forests, and underground labyrinths, all on a quest to find 3 magic seals. Yet even with this solid foundation, Risky's Revenge frequently stumbles in the small details. The background music is always upbeat and catchy, but some songs have hard repeat points that are difficult not to notice and are not blended very well. When you're mermaid swimming, sometimes audible click noise can be heard when the swimming sound effect repeats. The actions you can take while transformed are inconsistent. While transformed, you can press one button to enter a cave and you're automatically transformed out and enter, but you can't talk to the save guy without manually transforming back, and trying to use a scene jump pad will automatically switch you back to a human, but not jump you. You'll have to press the button again. Enemies drop loot, but the Bat and Mermaid especially wait a long time to drop their money, and by the time something drops, it's taken too long and I'm already gone. The elephant dash can break through these fire turrets and keep the momentum going, but can't keep going through more than one horizontal block at once, so you have to keep dashing, and dashing, and dashing. Which is weird, because you can use the ground pound once and go through multiple vertical blocks. In nearly every area of the game, being a monkey crawling through the walls doesn't show you your position, but in one specific dungeon, it shows you little sparkles for no apparent reason. The UI has its fair share of issues too. Navigating the item menu doesn't skip empty spots, and both the item menu and the warp select menu don't cycle around if you press up when you're at the top of the list and want to quickly move to the bottom. If you're selecting an area to warp to but decide to cancel it, the conversation ends and you have to start over instead of just returning to the warp select screen. There are long conversations which you have to start over from the beginning if you're not ready to make a dialogue choice. And there is a skip button, but it only skips chunks of lines instead of just putting you at the point you actually need to be in the conversation, so you'll just end up mashing the skip button anyway. The shop's prices are initially confusing. This right here is 1 magic gem and 100 coins, not 100 magic gems. Color me surprised when I found my first magic gem and only got 1. In some dungeons you can destroy some of the platforming blocks. Here, you learn it's the light purple blocks. Okay. But then it's not all the light purple blocks. But then sometimes it's clearly differentiated and it is all the light purple blocks. It's a little confusing. However, the biggest issue is some nonsensical parts thrown in. Suddenly you find yourself on a coffee run, which even Shantae remarks as weird. You find a coffee machine in the woods and have to get it fixed by a character in town you only met at the beginning of the game and had no indication that they were some kind of mechanic. She fixes your coffee machine by using her bird, named Wrench, as a wrench, by the way. In a time period of magic and pirates, suddenly you're given modern plastic explosives. Then near the very end, the first boss returns out of nowhere and offers to help you as long as you go on a fetch quest to find his 3 missing golden babies. The game never tried to present itself as overly serious, and it's always a light and fun mood, but some things stretch the envelope just a little too much. That all sounded like a lot of complaining, and it was. But having said all that, those were all small details, and in Risky's Revenge, the good heavily outweighs the bad. It's hard not to have a fun, upbeat time while watching Shantae love dancing, or seeing the monkey form have a huge smile and wavy jazz hands, or even seeing how happy some of the enemies look. When the end comes and you've saved the day surrounded by friends, you'll wish that the adventure wasn't quite over just yet.